So why did I call the book Revenue or Relationships? Win Both? Well, years ago, I was researching content management systems for a client. I asked my assistant to help. I gave him a list of what the system needed to do so he could create a comparative matrix. Now, he did a phenomenal job. And he got me a summary of all the options and a prioritized list of which sales materials I needed to read. And it was awesome. But then one afternoon, I got a call from some vendor. I had no idea how he got my number until my assistant later admitted that he used my number in the forms he completed for information because he didn't want to get the lead gen calls. So now think about that for a second. He didn't want to get the lead gen calls. He knew he was going to get them from the forms, and he didn't want them. So he tried to work around it to get the information that he needed anyway. Marketers can sometimes be clever in how they track you to convert you into a lead. And I've worked on that side of the fence. And the desire to capture leads is very, very real. But the discussion we rarely have is, do these prospects, these customers, even want to be a lead for your company? Are they truly ready to be a lead for your company? What makes them ready to be a lead for your company? I mean, don't you experience it? I'll often download a white paper for knowledge or information, and within a day, I'll get a call or an email from someone trying to sell me something that I don't even know I want yet, because I still need to read that white paper, and it's honestly a little annoying. I honestly just want to get to know a company on my own schedule, in my own time. So what's changed for us to get here with these sales calls and emails and flooding of customers with information? Well, if you ask me, it's automation. Now, this diagram shows how companies worked before the rise of the internet. And you had operations inside, and marketing, sales, and customer service were connection points with customers. Those were very coveted roles. They worked with distributors and more to create relationships with customers. And distributors and resellers would become an extended sales force. Again, working with customers and collecting their information and building relationships. But with the rise of automation, roles started to change and adjust. The biggest shift was that companies could communicate directly with customers. And this meant that the employees could communicate directly with customers. And this made them into a huge community within a company between the customers and the employees, and it was beautiful. But let's look at the mechanics of automation. Now, it's hard to automate communication and relationship building. We're seeing that with chatbots today. It's much easier to automate a transaction. So what is the marketing and sales transaction? Well, revenue and leads, right? And it's not really all that marketing does. Leads are one of many outputs of marketing activities, but it's an output that can be measured. So you can see how marketing and sales automation really focused on this. You can score a lead based on user or customer activity and determine who should be contacted, usually if someone is active and clicks on specific topics. But I would often wonder if in our quest to automate transactions, if we kind of lost the purpose of the company. So there's a great picture I saw at the Dallas Entrepreneur Center that said, business is socializing with purpose. Now, socializing involves conversations. So if conversations are at the center of business, then companies do more than solve problems. They actually build relationships with their customers. Now, I know it's not tangible, it's very hard to measure, and it's just, well, squishy. And that's why we focus on measuring only one output of it, generally, revenue and sales, right? But in this book, I raise the question, what if there are other measurements? And maybe to win in this new digital automated business, revenue is not enough of a metric to indicate or measure success. These new startups aren't solely focused on increasing revenue. They want to solve their customers' problems and help them feel relief, increase self-esteem, and be personally secure. And this helps them build a trusted relationship so customers go to them to solve problems first. Now, there are other metrics that we could use to measure business success today through user actions like loyalty, company accountability, engagement, and brand. And if we could measure these items, maybe we could correlate them with revenue to see how we could build better customer relationships through improved customer experiences and in the end generate more revenue. So rather than focus only on transactions, we need to look at people and relationships. And actually this is supported by the trend of new workflow methodologies like Lean, Agile, design thinking, and sustainability that put people and their interactions and contributions first. If we're more focused on how people work, shouldn't we also be focused on how our customers work and their experiences working with our company in that larger customer-employee community? Now let's face it, business isn't about clicks, transactions, and purchases. It really is about relationships and how to build them with other people. I mean, this is the bread and butter of a successful sales team. Salespeople are hired based on their relationships and their abilities to build them. So in a way, automation isn't shifting how business is done. It's allowing us the opportunity to measure success in a new way through relationships.